Of the staff and management of WNOV and W293 CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
Happy Friday, everyone. Go ahead, B.
No, I was waiting for you. I was going to say happy Friday back to you. I was waiting till you finish your stuff. I was going to be like, hey, I didn't want to miss it. I thought I had an awkward, blank in that space. So I just wanted to say happy Friday back to you. Happy Friday to you, Joe. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. Great. Yeah. It's been a great week. So
yeah.
Quick,
cool. A lot of meetings. Able to do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to the teams. We had some meetings, just working some things out. Trying to just increase some activity in the and things that we doing, especially with all the changes that we keep seeing. We just want to keep pushing and promoting through our social medias and networks. So you'll be seeing a lot of new stuff come through Wisconsin Voices, just because it's just that time to revamp, and everybody have something to do because there's so much going on, man. I mean, I know right. Even just looking at some of the things that you probably been looking at this week, and I know you got some things to talk about, and looking forward to hearing what you got with that. Whatever is going on.
They're coming fast and furious, man. I mean, one after the other, almost catching me off guard. But
it's almost like we're gonna have to do a political Tuesday, Friday as well. Political Monday through Friday.
Right. I mean, it's one thing after the other. I think, and it shows that as far as Wisconsin Voices and what we do, we really, really have to be on our guard. We really have to be ready and prepared. And I think that's, part of what we've been doing the last couple months here, Brian, is really planning for 2025 and what are we going to do? How are we going to support the community? How are we going to uplift this community and do better than we did in 2024?
Yeah. So I do want you to break that down. Go ahead, give our introduction, and thank you for that. Do want to make sure that we shouting out the whole squad before we get into all this stuff. So shout out to Nicole, Tamika, Latoya, of course, Shanita, Lanisha, and did I miss anybody? Angelique, and anybody else on the squad that helps with Wisconsin Voices. We want to thank y'all for just contributing to and just keeping us informed of any changes or anything that's going on. So if it's anything that you like to share, or anything that you feel you feel the community should know today, 414-444-5250 or 5253, give us a call, let us know. Today it is Friday. What's today's date? September what? 22nd?
November 22nd.
November 22nd. It's 45 degrees here in Milwaukee. We were going to be talking about some community topics. We're going to go into some things that Joe has updates on. We'll probably be starting it off with that. And then, of course, anything else that's going on. We also were having fun with figuring out what you guys were putting on the plate this year, or putting on the table for your lovely family. So if you got anything you want to share, if you mix it up, if you're doing a beef Wellington this year, or you said you're doing a crab boil, or if you just gonna, slide in some, little turkey bites or turkey wings and smoke some turkey wings. We want to hear about it because, one, you helping us give ideas, and you helping other people across the city get motivated to do what we do, which is break bread with each other. And that family festivities is always a good way to hopefully relieve some stress and not gain any stress. We already eating a whole bunch of high calorie food. We don't need nobody else coming over there and increasing the blood pressure, right?
Right. Yeah. Holidays might be a little different this year across America at some dinner tables.
Yes, it's going to be
polarization. But you know, and if anyone out there has, after Thanksgiving has any leftovers or something they want to bring by, they can bring them by WNOV or over at Wisconsin Voices at our office. We will definitely help you take care of those.
Only if it's good, though. I don't want none that ain't. I don't want no brittle dressing. I don't want none of your dry turkey stuff. I don't want none of your funny looking. I don't want nothing that you just trying and you don't even got it mastered. Because I can confidently say that anything that I'm going to give to somebody in the community is going to be ready to go. So, I got some cousins and families and friends across the city who have tried some of my dishes that I purposely went out there and intentionally practiced multiple times before I would, even give it to my aunt or my granny. So, I had to take the process of that. And then, of course, everybody else, you feel you serving friends and family. You don't want nobody talking behind your back about your main dish. So
I was going to say, Thanksgiving's probably not the place you want to do any experimentation.
No, you should be at least, I would say 5 to 10 dishes. As far as making that dish you bring in for Thanksgiving, you should be 5 to 10 times in with making that dish. And it should have that consistent flavor before you try to bring it over. Don't be trying stuff and just bringing it over because you think they just gonna eat anything. Now, if you got a family that just eat anything, then maybe. But I don't get down like that.
I've been to some family Thanksgivings visiting, and sometimes you could, it's a pleasant surprise, and sometimes you're like, this is not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like, you get some stuffing or you get some turkey and it's just made a little different. It's like, it's a little off. Yeah. Have you ever had that happen, Brian?
You know what? I usually be in my own, look, it's only 4, I go between 3 or 4 houses. I did have a situation last year where I ended up catching COVID being at somebody's house for a Friendsgiving that I was invited to by one of my old students from Job Corps. So she just invited me over. She's like, hey, they're having this Friendsgiving. I ain't seen you in a while. I'll just pull up. I'm like, cool. Get over there. One, deep in the hood. I mean, the street lights wasn't even working, halfway working. We were seeing on like Buffum and that was the one thing. But we community, so we pop up. Say right. He said, ain't community like that. So we go there. That's the thing. Get in there. They chilling, they doing their thing. But one woman that was at this Friendsgiving, and this is just a reminder for everybody to be cautious of going to random folks' house if you don't really know them like that and ain't no COVID checks. Be cautious. Get in there, and I'm chilling on the side. Got me a plate. The plate was not appetizing, appealing at all. So it was not what I'm used to, even from like people that's family related. It just didn't look that good. It was, I tried to nibble on a little bit of it, and then I just like covered it up, and then it just, they tried to pack it up for me, and ended up going in the trash as soon as I got to the apartment building. But in response to that, I shouldn't have went, I guess, because I ended up getting COVID from that, and
a bad meal,
and the girl, a bad meal, that's too, exactly, and she was just frolicking across the little living room and just all on her friends, laying on the ground. The one who did it, my friend did apologize, called back, the old student called back and apologized for it. It's like, I know you were going to be upset. I'm like, yeah, my sister coming into town, and I was able to get rid of it and still was able to cook in time. But I was like, dude, this is crazy. I don't know how many, I ain't going to too many trap Friendsgivings anymore. Trap Friendsgivings. I'm good. I'll still go to Friendsgivings, but not one where people going to be recklessly coming with COVID.
I agree.
Yeah, man. You look like you had something to say about them Thanksgiving meals. Listen, man, that brittle corn, that brittle dressing got to you, didn't it?
Man, I had some experience. I mean, casserole. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Man, I think it was green bean casserole.
That's my favorite. I love it.
Oh my God.
See, but that's the thing that we don't pretty much do too much in the black community. You ain't gonna see some people make
casserole is definitely like a white community.
It's a white community.
Yeah. And that's exactly where I was at. I was at one of my white friends' house. Shout out to them. But listen, Thanksgiving in the city is most definitely different than Thanksgiving in the suburbs, because our dressing is their stove topping.
Yeah, I know.
And I hate stove topping.
Yeah, I don't rock with that. Our dressing. I think when you see like white people having dressing and like black Thanksgiving food for the first time,
you be like,
they be like, their eyes just be like,
and I've seen it. They were like, boy, like This is yams.
I was watching it. I was watching a dude the other day. He was talking about how how we be seasoning our charcoals. I remember back in the day, my granddad, everybody used to put the onions on the charcoals and all that. And then the white guy typed in, is like, man, he's like, I'm not going to no more white barbecues, cookouts, no more. We're just losing. We're just losing, man. But yeah, I mean, it's and that's the fun part, is that we exposing the cultures, being able to you can show me, because I've had some green bean casserole one time. It had like mushroom soup in it. It was pretty good. It had the French onion top in it. Yeah. It was a good one. It was made by somebody white, and then I've had one that was made by somebody black. Of course, the black one had a little more flavoring and seasoning in it, but it was pretty much made the same way. It was just two different groups. But yeah, I enjoy those as well. I enjoy trying different. Like you said, if they've been done 5 to 10 times, yeah. But if you just trying and experimenting on the team, unless you
save that for another time.
Yeah, unless you really experiencing your craft, you should probably wait. But yeah, and that's our little section, a little excerpt. I guess I'm not an excerpt, but little brief discussion about Thanksgiving food. Hopefully y'all call in and let us know what y'all doing. I want to hear if you're doing something fancy. I know how y'all get down up in the city. Y'all be eating really good, filet mignons and all that. We want to see it.
Man, I've heard
or hear about it.
Some people saying that they was gonna do the seafood, thing for Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
been adding like a salmon dish.
Really?
Yeah, every year, like my auntie does. She'll do like the what you call like a turkey, like a turkey breast. We don't even get a full turkey anymore because it's be a lot of meat. So we just do turkey, and then exactly. And then we do a chicken, and then I usually do like a few of my smoked corned beefs. So I make a really good smoked corned beef. So this year I'm gonna make like 3 or 4 of them. I'm gonna take one of my cousins' uncle house, Rob Kendall. I'm gonna go to they event over there. And then I'm gonna stop past the Sanders. Sorry if I don't bring a corned beef Sanders. I might leave 2 at my auntie house because I got to keep one for myself. So then, of course, I'll be at the Adams primarily, but the Sanders I always pull up on my dad's side of the family and go see them, and then I go kick it with the Kendalls as well because they be kicking it, the Kendalls and the Stamperts, and of course me being the Sanders representative and the Adams, we be all over there at one of their functions, in the Hazelwoods too. So there's some of the family. I'm name dropping family last names. People gonna be like, oh yeah, I know them.
That's what the holidays are about, right? The holidays are about family.
Yeah, you got to connect. It's love seeing those different generations or groups of last names and families that have come connected through marriage and friendships, and we having a good time. So I try to bring at least something over there. So hopefully I'll stick to it and at least go find me something I can bring to somebody's house.
There you go.
Besides an empty stomach.
I'm good at bringing that.
Right. Hey, facts. For real, I will pull up for real. Right. Don't eat too much. I would definitely be at the crib starving to 5-6 o'clock if somebody having a dinner one day. But on Thanksgiving, I used to eat about 5 or 6 too. So. But yeah, shout out to all y'all. Have fun, enjoy your family. I am interested to hear what my boy Joe got for us today, man. Joe, it's been hot. It's been hot in the political news.
Yeah, it seems like every day, something different's coming out. The current legislators trying to pave a way for radical change once the new administration takes office.
Okay.
One of those things was House Resolution or HR 9495, which would grant the Secretary of Treasury sweeping authority to designate 501c nonprofits as terrorist supporting organizations at their discretion.
Right.
The bill is deeply flawed in several ways due to lack of transparency, a violation of due process, and it also gives a chilling effect on advocacy. The bill not only jeopardized the integrity of the nonprofit sector, but also risks silencing organizations that advocate for equality, justice, and democracy. So this actually passed the House of Representatives yesterday by, I believe, about 20 votes. 15 Democrats followed Republicans and voted yes for this bill. From here, I believe it'll go on to the Senate, and the Senate will vote on it. And they do only have until the end of the session, this congressional session, to get this passed. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I really hope it doesn't. Wisconsin Voice is definitely against this bill. We strongly oppose this bill, as I would believe any nonprofit would.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't want nonprofits supporting terrorist organizations, but this is giving the power to one man to make that discretion instead of a panel or a board or some kind of oversight to that. There's no appeal processes. There's no due process through this. So again, the elections, we say it so many times that elections have consequences, and I think this is one of them that we're starting to see. I feel like if this bill's not picked up and passed in the Senate this session, we'll definitely see something probably similar come down the pikes early in 2025.
Thank you. So, and yeah, that's tough because it's just another sneaky bill, and the wording is meant to be the wording because it can throw either side off,
right?
Especially a side that is more into, of course, apprehending any what they would consider. Both sides are, of course, against terrorism, but one side may say it from a different point of view. And I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think one party versus another voted the way they did within that? Was it some confusion, or what would you see, just from looking at it, or what you seeing on the net?
Right. I would hate to put myself in the minds of those Senate or those House or those representatives and try to second guess why they voted for it. I think a lot of times you'll see the party leadership come out and in support of a bill, and maybe some other members of that party are a little on the fence, but they get quickly reined in by the whip.
Okay.
That goes in and whips the votes. The party whip will go in and make sure that everyone's in line.
Mm-hmm.
That all Republicans are voting, in line. And what really bothered me about that vote was 15 Democrats that crossed the aisle and voted yes for it, because it's just, again, what did they see? Did they see, we want to prevent nonprofits from supporting terrorists? I think we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, what's your definition of terrorism?
Yeah.
Who's going to define what terrorism is? And if it's the Secretary of Treasury, what's his qualifications on saying what a terrorist organization is and what isn't?
Yeah.
He could come in easily and say Wisconsin Voices is a terrorist organization because they don't agree with what we support. And then what?
Because this bill was directed towards, obviously, U.S. nationals is what I seen when I was looking at it. So, it's already saying this is, if anything, you would try to go directly towards domestic individuals. Right. Either way, this is not an international bill that was 501c3s that could look suspicious if it was from a country that primarily doesn't do any type of work here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to be slick and say look, anybody that's promoting, because I thought it said something in there where somebody had, like, it was directing something towards individuals who may work with 501c3s who were who had maybe some legal issues or dealt with like legality issues in the past. But that would be people too within a 501c3. If you own one and you may have some a record, they could mm-hmm. easily try to attack you.
Right. And again, going back to the violation of due process, this legislation places a burden of proof on the accused organization. So in other words, if your organization is accused of quote unquote supporting terrorism, and again, there's no definition of what that is, you have to prove how you didn't. Instead of having the assumption of innocence, you're assumed guilty, and it's up to the burden of proof is on you to prove yourself innocent.
Okay.
Which is kind of backwards on how we do things here in the United States.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's a good start.
We got to stay vigilant, Brian. We have to stay vigilant, and we have to continue to support our local nonprofits, people like the partners of Wisconsin Voices,
mm-hmm.
Voices, everyone out here in the community doing the work, not looking for a paycheck, not looking to get rich off this. We're looking to mm-hmm. uplift the community.
Yeah.
I think that, this, now more than any other time in history, I think we need that support. We need folks to rally around all the nonprofits, not just Wisconsin Voices, but all the nonprofits out there doing good in this world.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, because everybody will have to lean on each other to make this, make this their points. Because I'm looking at every partner organization that we're working with. I've been seeing them, already starting to pick it up. Mm-hmm. They're already out there making calls. They were making calls on this. A lot of our partners were making calls. I know we had Latoya yesterday made her call as well. So just people are working. We want to make sure that you guys are informed, and that's why we're talking about this today. And hit the fun topics too. But of course, anything that Joe may want to update us on that. So, what are the next steps you see with this, Joe? It's going to
go to the Senate.
Yeah.
It's going to go to the Senate.
Yeah.
Again, where I feel like even if it's not even, it may not even be picked up.
Yeah.
It may go down in failure. I could be completely surprised and it could pass. I mean, these are just kind of the unknowing factors of. I think maybe the party leaderships know which way the votes are going to go, but if we have Democrats crossing the party lines again and going with the Republicans on House Resolution 9495, it may not be. It may pass. So again, what's going through their minds? Have they read the entire bill? Do they understand that there's a lack of due process there, and that you're kind of isolating a lot of Americans and a lot of good that goes on in this country?
Yeah.
The nonprofits, 501c3s do a lot of good throughout just our community and the United States. So putting them under attack and under the microscope is probably not the best thing to do when people are really hurting out there and need our help.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Yeah, that's a good first segment right there. I think we can go ahead and take a break, come back, and Joe, if you got some more stuff for us that we need to catch up on from the week, or you wanna hit some other topics. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. We're gonna have quite a bit on Monday and Tuesday. I think we're gonna work on some things over the weekend and come back loaded, ready for Monday.
Yeah, I'm sure we are. All right, cool. Well, we'll be back on Be a Voice Radio on WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Remembering what we stand for. At Wisconsin Voices, we remember what we stand for. Check out our movement dedicated to empowering citizens and shaping the future. Engage with us on our website, social media, and podcast to make a difference. Visit wisconsinvoices.org. Explore our events calendar, like and subscribe to us on social media. Listen to recent podcasts and radio, and subscribe to our email and newsletter. Amplify your voice and be a voice today.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
We are back. Here, we're looking at Black Elephant Reunion Show 20th Anniversary Project. Shout out to WISN putting that up there. We like seeing iconic things happening in Milwaukee. Jermaine, what do you know about that?
Black Elephant?
Yeah.
Well, Black Elephant, those when I went to school with Damien, that's my dude.
Okay.
He was part of Black Elephant, and some of my peoples play in there.
Okay.
In the band. T. Martin, Alex Julian. Those are my peoples over there. So, yeah, Black Elephant been around for a minute, and they got some real good music.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Hip hop culture.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I feel like I was seeing something recently.
Cigarette Break actually came from Black Elephant.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that young lady right there, she was the person that actually gave Cigarette Break their name.
Nice.
She started calling them Cigarette Break when they was playing with Black Elephant.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool. All right, so she know how to make a marketing name right there. That's a talent right there. So we back real quick. I do want to before we get into the next topic with Joe. We're going to talk about some Thanksgiving meals that they are giving out, and courtesy of Miss Latoya from Wisconsin Voices. We have 2024 Thanksgiving meals. We have Sunday 11/17 at 11/17 this Sunday. That's already passed. I'm sorry. Saturday 11/23 at the Gathering at Ascension. That's 1236 South Layton Boulevard. I'll give y'all some time to grab some paper and a pen or put it in your cell phone. Again, that's Saturday 11/23 at Gathering at Ascension. It's Gathering at Ascension. The next one is at Mount Carmel, 8424 West Center. You do also have one at Running Rebels. That's Saturday as well. All these are from 11:30 to 12:30, by the way. These first three. 1300 West Fond du Lac Avenue, Running Rebels. Tuesday, we have one at is that Cahonia Mills? Cahonia, Koinonia Mill, 2944 North 9th Street. That goes from 6 to 7 p.m. Thursday, we had some at Metropolitan Mills, 1345 West Burleigh. It's a breakfast, 9 to 10 a.m. Repairs of Breach. They have a one as well, 11:30 to 1 p.m., 1335 West Valete. St. Ben's Meal Program, 924 West State Street. That goes from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Crossroads Kitchen, 931 West Madison Street. They'll be going from 12 to 12:45. That'll be Thursday as well. And then the last one, we have Harambe, 2600 North 2nd Street. That we have something going on from 12 to 12:45. So if you or anybody may need a meal, those are the ones you can check out. Also, just reach out to us and we'll make sure that we get you this list if you still need it, or give us a call. We'll repeat it if you need that one more time. Again, that was just Thanksgiving Meals 2024 in the city of Milwaukee. All right, Joe. So somebody got the boot, didn't they? Somebody got the boot or had to remove themselves.
It is Friday. Yeah. We could talk a little couple wider notes, right?
Yeah. We can. We know we can do this Friday.
Oh yeah. So
what you got? What happened?
Oh man,
we know what happened. What you seen? What happened?
Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his nomination.
Yeah.
I did this via X. I believe it was yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
We were just talking in the studio a little bit about how ironic it was and just kind of watching the whole process play out in front of the American people. You know, you had a congressman who was about to have an ethics report released that was not going to be good for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he resigns 2 days before the release of that.
Yep.
Because he was nominated also nominated as Attorney General.
Yep.
By President-elect Trump. So once the media kind of got a hold of it, and I do believe that there were some Venmo lists that were released as well that were kind of damning towards former Representative Gaetz. And then once he was nominated and resigned from Congress, he was forced to withdraw his nomination as Attorney General. So now Mr. Gaetz is in the unemployment line at the moment. So you know, we talk about how a lot of candidates didn't care about other people. It's about their agenda. It's about what they're trying to achieve in their own personal gain. It has nothing to do with caring for other people. And I think you kind of see that. Not that we, after some of the allegations that we care too much about Mr. Gaetz, but it also shows how he treats his friends. And if he treats his friends that way, how is he going to treat his enemies?
Oh yeah, we see. Yeah, everybody's expendable. Look, everybody can get it. So we've seen that. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody. I mean, it's just there's no backbone. He just sways with whatever and whoever aligns with. How can you you know, this is Brian speaking. How can you just sit there and just think that everybody's your buddy? These people don't have no backbone because they'll just go with whatever. Look at the guy that's his VP. You know, he was talking all that mess.
I know him well.
Yeah, talking all that mess and all that. Right? Yeah,
from being in his state. Yeah, just I know him. I know his policies well.
Yeah, and then that was a whole nother person how he was prior to this, right? And then he flipped the script, and now all of a sudden knowing that your mama got services and your family got services and benefits and used all the services that you want to align yourself with to cut.
Oh yeah, and you know, just going back to JD Vance, I was in Ohio while he was senator, and how he really got a lot of popularity in Ohio was after the train derailment that happened there in eastern Ohio with the chemicals that were burned off.
I forgot about that. The weird clouds and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was wild.
And Governor DeWine and a bunch of people were trying to say that everything's safe, we got it cleaned up, everything's done, and he actually went down there with his phone and video recorded with stirring up the bottom of a creek with a stick, and you could see the chemicals coming out of the sediment of the creek.
Yeah,
saying it's not clean, and that's kind of how he got his claim to fame in Ohio was, you know,
he went down there and cared for the environment.
Exactly.
But then that would be more left, right? He got more left support than Winnie.
I think he got support from both sides, because that was such a hot topic in Ohio at the time.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what side of the aisle.
Right.
It didn't matter what side of the aisle you were on. It was a dumb decision to light a bunch of chemicals on fire saying that was the best way to clean it up. There were pictures of that cloud that was over Ohio, and it was
nuts. I thought a monster was gonna come out that black cloud.
Right.
Excuse me, that black cloud. It looked insane seeing that, and I was wondering. What was the outcome with that anyway?
I'm almost sure they're still probably cleaning it up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to take for a long time to clean up that mess and I can't remember the exact name of the chemical, but what it does is it typically, when it gets into the ground, it soaks into the bed of the creeks. It gets into the sediment down there. So really you have to go through and dredge all them waterways to really get it out of there. Now you can go down and test the water and it might test fine because those chemicals are down in the sediment, and until that sediment's kicked up, they're going to remain there.
Yeah.
So
you got to flip it, pull it up. I mean, really with that's a whole, you would have to completely remove a whole probably 4 to 6 feet
millions of dollars.
For miles probably of creek, and then replace it. But then that stuff that you pulled up, you got to find a way to, properly dispose of that. You know? So
and really some of his radical ideas I had never even heard of. I was
while you were there
in his state, and I had never heard of until he got on the campaign trail as vice president.
Yeah,
I had never heard any of this. It was always pretty level-headed until then. And whether these were feelings that were down below and hidden feelings, or it was just, hey, this is the thing you need to say to go out on the campaign trail. I don't know. That's up for debate, but definitely wasn't anything like this when he was at the a senator from Ohio. He really got his name to fame with that train derailment and really calling for action on train safety, and chemical safety on transporting them through the states, which I think is a bipartisan issue. We all should want to make sure that our railways are safe, that chemicals are being transported safely, because it affects us all. And
I
think
we always talk about that infrastructure. We always talk about the infrastructure, and I'm a fan of infrastructure outside of, of course, seeing our community and seeing, the BIPOC community across, Milwaukee as a whole, but BIPOC community. I want to see, infrastructure. I think this could be, if they actually do things right, they could set the tone for smaller cities and showing how to, show add some structure or some infrastructure here that may be a smaller marvel, or at least let somebody come in here and try to change. You may see a change in how people want to drive here and all that. We just got to keep letting these opportunities for these companies come in here, so we can increase the customers across the country and people want to come to the city. I know we got folks want to go all through downtown, but it won't be nothing great till people want to start going all across the country, not just all across the city, versus just want to be downtown,
right?
And, those areas. But with that being said, we will have to have the infrastructure and the transportation to get people to go to Brown Deer once they complete our far northwest side, once they complete whatever they do to the malls out there or whatever they want to do to some of the other areas further outside the city. And it's all included, transportation, infrastructure, like you said. So.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We talk about infrastructure and how important it is, especially up here in the communities that we serve on the north end of the city. We definitely want to see that money start to flow in here for the basic things, because we've said it a million times, Brian. Folks don't want to come in here and invest their money if the city's not going to do their part as well. Mm-hmm. Replacing gutters, replacing roads, replacing sidewalks, making it easier for folks to come in and set their business up. Until that investment's there, it's going to be really hard to see any growth. We need to see that investment from the city, from the state, from the county, in those correct locations where we can really bolster the economy.
Yeah, I like that. Say no more. Now, let's go back to Ohio real quick. Mm-hmm. Did you ever ran for office in Ohio too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you run for? So we got some people on our team that ran for office or helped people run for office and got out there and hit the ground themselves. So what was your just kind of going back into Ohio, since you are one of our sister brother Midwest states. What did you do over there in that role?
So I was on city council, which is like an alderman. I was a city councilman for my hometown.
Yeah.
I served as an at-large, so I wasn't in a ward. I was elected by the entire city.
Okay.
It was about the size, a little smaller than Glendale.
Okay.
I served on there I finished out one term and then was elected for another term.
Okay.
Probably the greatest learning experience of my life. When I went in, I had a list of things that I wanted to change. I said, gosh, I just want to go in and I want to change this. And the potholes in town are terrible, and we need to really invest in this. But until you really get in there and you start to see the projects and the numbers and the budgets, and you start to really take it all in, then it was like, well, wait a minute. Okay, well, that list is important, but these things are more important.
Yeah.
When you see that there's only so much money to get some things done, it makes it really tough for public officials to make those decisions. They have to make tough decisions. In some instances, it was either cut here to pay for this or cut here and pay for this. A lot of times the government would come in and put in regulations. I can think of, I love the EPA, but they came in and put a regulation in on our city that was almost crippling financially to us. So it was a great learning experience. I went in thinking I knew everything and left realizing I knew nothing. It's definitely a learning experience. And I encourage, if you're interested in politics, if you want to see things change, if you want to understand more about how government works, get involved. Go check it out. The city of Milwaukee Elections Commission has a great spot on their website where if you want to run for office, how to do it, how to go through it, and what you need to do. So, if you have a passion for that, go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years that I could be elected as an official, but it wasn't until I actually went out there and did it and I realized, okay, I can do this. Once I was appointed, got really nervous and thought, can I get reelected? Did I do a good enough job in the last year to get reelected for 4 more? And the answer was yes, I guess, but they reelected me. But what a learning experience, and how much you don't know. And that's why I always say, go watch city council meetings. Go to a city council meeting. Go to a committee meeting. You're going to learn so much about how our government works. There may be things in there you're like, hey, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, go sign up. Go run for office.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might be able to win and make a change.
Yeah, that's true. I've been down there and sat in a few myself and seen the real deal breakdown. And, you really get to see it behind the scenes. There's other stuff that, like you said, you be thinking that this is cool. They got the money for this, but no, they're going to have to cut way over here. And Jermaine, we got something?
Well, yeah, but I was going to say, speaking off of Joe's point, that, just taking the initiative to kind of take things into your own hand and run for office. If you know that you can fix some things, or if you have ideas that can help your community, running for office or running for certain positions is the thing to do.
Mhm.
I actually had a conversation and I was joking.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I should run for office. But, man, I've been thinking lately, really the past couple days, about that because, I was thinking about, like, with these high-speed chases and how many lives are being lost through car accidents from these high-speed chases and things like that. I have a pretty good idea of how we can kind of alert the people that's down the road that the high-speed chase is heading to. So those people will have the opportunity to pull over, get out the way, and allow the chase to go through without, them coming through the light and then they get hit all of a sudden because of a high-speed chase or something. So
some new safety procedure that we can have.
Well, I know that they, I live downtown, and when the hop comes through, they have a way. I don't know if it's automatically triggered or they hit a button, but it turns the lights red.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And they stay red longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So there's a way to do it. You're right, Jermaine.
that,
There's a way to do it. There's a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
And that's that proactive thinking that we need from our government. That forward thinking, that proactive thinking from our government or from people. If you run a position, that would be something that we need. We need somebody that can think like that and come up with things
outside the box a little bit.
Outside the box that we need.
The worst thing I've ever heard is we do it this way because we've always done it that way.
And that's the worst.
It's the worst.
In what way is that? What is that doing for us?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's time to change and think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it'll work.
Yeah.
I think it would cut off and it would change the percentages of a lot of these high-speed police chases that ends in death. Because now the people are aware that, you can make the lights red and then put some type of flashing lights on the lights, knowing so they'll know, hey, it's a high-speed chase that's in the area coming down the street. Let me pull over, just like a paramedic or if an officer was
you can
coming
have a little
up
blinking, blinking, some type of warning or something.
We had that back in Ohio as well.
Hey, it's a high-speed chase, but let me pull over and get out the way.
Yeah, kind of how they got the ones for in Chicago and certain cities here where the bright light come on.
Yeah.
Just put that bright light on so people know. People know it's something and it's a danger coming that way through that intersection on that street. So people see it, at least they'll be aware. They'll pull over, even if it's 2-3 blocks away. They know that it's coming down the street and they can pull over and avoid.
And you can, and by doing something like that, you can create jobs because you'll give people the jobs to monitor the screens and watch the screens and watch what's going on. So that's creating
place the lights on the pole.
Yeah, that's creating job opportunity.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I already know who would get the contract if they did that. Oh, Mr. Tyrone W is on the line, huh? Happy Friday, sir.
Yes, sir. Indeed it is. Indeed, yes. And again, a wonderful Thanksgiving to all of you. Be blessed, be safe. Big sports weekend all around, man.
Yes, sir.
Packers 49ers, Badgers Minnesota football, Badgers basketball down there in Florida for the some invitational. Marquette's over at the Maui Invitational, so it's big weekend. Bucks playing tonight, Indiana, again on Sunday, so big weekend. But I just, right out, Harvey, Joel, Brian, yes, sir, all right. But Milwaukee, yes, sir, and everybody, wonderful weekend and holiday season, and a great day. Get out there, get your turkeys and things there. I'm getting ready to move around a little bit here, make a couple of runs myself.
Yes,
Joe was talking about something and mentioned something about the Ohio, and the chemicals and everything. And see, that goes back to what I was saying about the monopoly board, the electric company, the railroads, Park Place, all that stuff. Once you got the rules in your pocket, in the back pocket and everything, and, the regulations and everything, you got to be careful on how you're doing things. The chemicals, just look at what's on our shelves. I mean, look, you talk about the crash on a larger scale, but look at the things that come through. Look at what's on our shelves there, And I just want to know, this time where you want to be clean every day and every year, but, you're cleaning and stuff there. I'll tell you, if you're talking about an inhalation bomb, do not mix bleach and ammonia. That will clean you from sinuses to back end pipe. I mean, you'll be coming up out of there quick. do not mix that one. No. I don't care how clean you want to be. Do not mix that one. So, I mean, it's you really got to be careful. But the stuff that's sold on our shelves, if you're not careful mixing that stuff, man, that stuff will take you out of here. You've been mixed up some concoction, man. I know I did it years ago once. I remember like yesterday. I was trying to be cleaner than clean, man. And I mixed ammonia and bleach, man. I was like, no, Jack.
I woke up the next day.
I almost flew out through the chimney, man.
No, Doctor, you didn't have no eyebrows. His eyebrows was gone, though. You mixed those two, boy. Jesus.
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to, the stuff that we get on our shelves, boy, be careful mixing that stuff.
Let's just go ahead and put the disclaimer out there that we don't want any of our listeners to be mixing any chemicals.
Right.
No, please.
Oh, man, nose hair is gone. Facial hair is gone.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the wonderful games, man.
You too.
Thank you. No, we don't want anybody out there mixing any chemicals together.
Listen here,
man. No.
You would lose Tyrone W. Please be careful out there.
You would lose your eyelashes with those two.
I'm sure some people already know. Somebody on there listening, like, yeah, I sure did. Passed out one day.
Right.
Mixed some chemicals. Yeah, you got to be careful out there. Big time.
Yeah, don't want to mess with that.
Yeah. So, what's next? Where was we finishing off at, man? I just lost my train of thought. Where was I was thinking
we're about to go to a
his
break,
face
Ryan.
being burnt off. I think it's time for a break after thinking about Tyrone W. with his face.
After the chemical class.
Face off. Starring Tyrone W. That's Debo.
Chemistry class.
All right, y'all. We'll be back on Be It Voice Radio, 860 WNOB 106.5 FM. The show, we over here looking at some dogs across Capitol. Mm-hmm. Cute little puppies. Maybe working the store. I don't know. We just looking at the dogs on Capitol.
Just another advisory. I'll go ahead and give 2 of them out today.
Yeah.
If you have a dog and you're walking down Capitol Drive, make sure it has a leash on it. It would only take 1 second for that dog to dart out in Capitol Drive, and now you don't have a dog. Be a little more aware. Use a little more common sense. Put a leash on your dog.
Yeah, some of that stuff be, man, they think, man, that they can train and tame a dog, but once the dog snap out, you have no control once that dog snap out.
Right.
You know, because if that dog wants to attack, it's going to attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they look young too, though. I don't think they got too much. You know, you better go ahead, just get on top of them and choke them out.
Man, rip them, grab them.
Brian's
for the safety of the dogs or the drivers out there. What if somebody slams on their brakes or swerves and tries to hit, miss a dog?
Yeah, on Capitol. Be careful.
Be careful, folks. Use some sense.
All right. So, real quick before we wrap it up, just for my people that out here, it's the holiday season. They do got some ground beef recalls, y'all, and that were shipped to Wisconsin. So, if you got some ground beef from this company right here that I can't pull up because it's taking too long, but they did recall some ground beef due to E. coli that was shipped all across the state of Wisconsin, or parts of Wisconsin. As soon as it pop up, I'll let you know what it is. We just want to make sure that you guys are mindful that Michigan shipped some ground beef over here that could be a little contaminated. So,
gotta watch that stuff.
Right. Look,
is there a spot in Wisconsin, like a website in Wisconsin, where you can go to look at all those, anything that's been recalled or any of that?
It gotta be. Somebody got to be doing. Somebody got to be doing that.
Yeah, I would assume that there's probably one for Wisconsin as well, so that if there's a recall or safety issue or anything like that, you can get those emailed right to your email account and check them out. I know I still get them back from Ohio, E. coli in this or that or whatever.
Yeah, it's it does seem like they do have a lot of spots where you can't go online and look at a lot of the recalls from what I'm seeing on here. So, but I just want to keep people aware that, look at you got some Michigan based ground beef, be cautious. It could be, so I know we have a lot of plants here that process and do their own thing in the state too. So, I was looking at something else the other day. Wisconsin was like number 4, number 5, as far as like production of like the Ohio of the Midwest states who were their products were going out to other states.
Oh, and exports.
Yeah, as far as the exporting of like the farm, and
I can see that.
The milks and all that. It was like pork and all that. They weren't the highest on the list. The highest on the list was Ohio.
Oh yeah,
Ohio was like Ohio and one more of the Midwest state. It was actually 3 or 4 other Midwest states that were higher than us, but Ohio was, I think, like number 1 and number 2.
Soybean hogs.
Yeah.
Really big in Ohio. Yep. Yeah. But as far as Wisconsin, it's not surprising that, obviously number 1 in dairy exports in the country. When I moved here, I had never seen so much cheese in all my life.
Yeah.
We gonna run selection. Like there are whole sections of the grocery store just dedicated for cheese.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's just it amazes me.
Yeah.
And
I know you go in there and get what you want. Smoked Goudas, marbled double plaster
things you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Things you've never heard of. I had a mushroom cheese the other day. It was so good.
Mushroom
cheese,
so
good. I have to find out from Amanda exactly what that was, but it was really good. It was a little while back, but it was good stuff. Yeah, Wisconsin's crazy about the cheese. I love it.
Oh yeah. You get some good things here with some cheese in it for sure. So that was just to kind of go back to the other food topic. It was 167,000 pounds of ground beef from Wolverine Packing Company has been recalled nationwide over potential E. coli contamination, according to a November 20th notice from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Is this another? Is the U.S. Department of Agriculture going to be affected by any of the things?
I think everything's going to be affected.
2025, and they're trying to take some of the restrictions.
2025 goes through, I think you're going to see every single department in the U.S.
Wasn't this going back into when we were talking about how there will be less monitoring of things that go through, like, E. coli could pop up in more things and all the other little contaminants.
It's the regulations.
Yeah, all the EPA regulations.
Trump
and all that
runs
stuff.
on that. He says, I'm going to roll back these regulations, cut your cost and cut your prices. Well, really what it doesn't cut cost, it cuts quality.
Quality, yeah. So that's what they're doing. So people won't be overseeing what's going out, and you'll be looking at stuff that's contaminated with E. coli and salmonella and everything else in it. The voluntary recall includes approximately 167,277 pounds of ground beef products that were shipped to restaurants nationwide, including Wisconsin. So this could be a restaurant thing too. So be mindful. You might want to figure out where that ground beef is coming from. You might want to go to some of these craft places first and just see if they got some local Wisconsin beef versus
Dude, always buy local. If you got the option to buy local, buy local.
Yeah,
I mean that should be almost, if you have the opportunity to do so. And sometimes those prepackaged, the stuff that's being pushed out by the corporations from the big massive food processing plants are always cheaper.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's a topic for a whole other subject about the healthiness of our food and where we get our food and the affordability of it. Because, if you go and you get the organic stuff, the stuff without all the chemicals, without all the GMOs, without everything, it's going to cost you more at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
But you also are, when you buy those from local like that, those local organic places, you're supporting local farmers, you're supporting local business, and that's, you'll hear me scream that to the day I die. That's what we need to do. We need to support our local business and support our local agriculture, support our local manufacturing.
Yeah, I agree, big time. So be careful with your ground beef, folks. Going out, ask them if they get it from Wolverine Packaging. They probably pulled it by now. Hopefully they did. The last topic, which I thought was kind of crazy that we seen, was the the guy who went missing in Green Lake. He has been contacted.
Is that the kayaker?
Yeah, the kayaker. Oh, yeah. So have you ever been to Green Lake before?
No, I haven't.
Green Lake is a really relaxing spot. I used to go up there with the Ivory family, my cousin's mom's family, and my aunt, one of my aunts through marriage. My uncle's wife, she would always their family would go up there for retreats, and then my church started going when it became like a church. So before it was like a turn up spot. You go there, you can camp, and people be going crazy. It'd be wild. Then they shot God up in there, and now it's peaceful and serene.
It's like angels.
Right? You at nighttime, you can walk around there. You might run into somebody else, but you ain't gonna run into no drunk man in the night like you would, in the early 2000s, late 90s, and before that.
Well, that might explain why I haven't been to Green Lake.
Yeah. Green Lake ain't the turn up spot no more. So authorities, so this guy, he went missing August 12th. He was kayaking on a lake about 50 miles. If you ever been there, it's about 50 miles northeast of Wisconsin Dells. So they spent 54 days looking for this man. That lake that has like a 237-foot depth. He ended up going over kayaking, leading out into Madison, going to Madison and catching a plane from Canada after taking a bus or something from Madison. And I guess he just said he's not coming back, and he is officially
in Eastern Europe or
being
something.
sought after by Green Lake Police Department.
No, actually they didn't even issue out a warrant. They just told him they wanted him to come back to his family.
Yeah, but they said they said he's looking at obstruction charges.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna figure it
out.
They're
gonna send it. As soon as he get back, he getting cuffed. That's he looking at what is that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're faking your own death, that would be definitely
felony. I mean, for insurance purposes and money, then that's fraud. But I think he just faked it because he wanted to get away from the woman he was with.
He costed all that time and money, 54 days.
Yeah, he wanted to get away from that lady in his house.
So, and there's no law against that.
Hey, but you know what? Actually, I want to say, hey, shout out to the community, man. Since this is a community show, I want to shout out the community, man, for those that came together and brought that 13-year-old girl back home, man. I'm grateful that they came together. They had their eyes open and saw her and reported, and now she's back with her family. So we want to keep her in prayer.
Absolutely. We have a great community, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Looking out for each other. Milwaukee know how to turn up and look out for their people when it's time to, because we know how to clown. We already know that, but we know how to come together when we want to. We'll get down when we want to, and that's why I do live about my city. It ain't consistent, but we do support each other when we really get pushed to do that. So with that being said, we wrapping this up. You're on Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices, 860 WNOV, 106.5 FM. Happy Friday to y'all. Enjoy, get out, work out, exercise, and eat good this coming up week. We'll see y'all. Love.